Hey guys, it's Mrs. C, and I'm here to show you something that I like to call the sum product game. Now, when I say game, it's kind of more like a challenge or a puzzle, but games make us feel happy. So I figured, why not? We'll call it a sum product game. And here's the deal with the sum product game. Now, you start with two numbers. And here's your challenge. This is called the sum product game. So my question for you is, what two numbers can you add together that would give you the sum of 3, and still the same numbers give you a product of a -4? So let me repeat that, because it takes a second just to understand what I'm asking you to do. I'm trying to get you to think of two numbers that when added together give you 3, and when multiplied together give you a -4. So here's kind of the trick to doing a problem that's like this. Start with the product, because it's a little bit easier if you think first of what numbers can I multiply together that would give me 4, because it's the sum is the first one, the product is the second. Forget about the sign right now. Just think of numbers that multiply to give you 4. Well, it's 4 times 1, and it's 2 times 2. Now, of those two options, and they have to be integers, so they're whole numbers, which two numbers can you put together either by adding or subtracting because of the signs, and you would actually wind up with a 3? Well, let me go to the one that wouldn't work. 2 and 2. Well, 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 minus 2 is 0. Neither of those choices give you 3. Take a look at this one, though. 4 plus 1 is 5, but what's 4 minus 1? 4 minus 1 is 3. And so that is the answer to this round of the sum product game. So the answer to this question is 2, 2. Now, here's my question to you, though. Does 2 times 2 give you -4 or +4? Well, it gives you +4. Oh, wait, it's not 2 times 2. What am I saying? Did you stop me? Did you catch me? 2 times 2 doesn't work because there was no way to get 3. My bad. It was 4 times 1. You knew that, right? I know you did. All right, my question is the same. Does 4 times 1 give me -4? No, 4 times 1 gives me +4. But if they were positive, I'd add them together. That wouldn't give me a 3. So in order for me to get a -4 when I multiply, one of them has to be negative, right? And when their signs are different, you find the difference. So if I'm going to make one of these negative, which one do I make negative so that the sum, when I combine them, is a +3? That would have to be the bigger one positive and the smaller one negative. So let's look at that. Make sure you understand. +4 times -1 is a, yes, -4. And a +4 times a -1 plus a -1, you subtract, take the sign of the higher number, and it is, that's right, +3. Okay, we're going to try several of these, so let's do another one. Okay, let me pick a good one for you. I've got a great one. 7, and 12. It's nice because they're both positive, so you don't have to worry about signs here. If they're both positive, it's going to be positive. So let's think about it. Go to the product number. Give me the factors that multiply together to give you 12. Well, there's 12 and 1. I'm going to use parentheses parentheses. I don't like the dot. There's 3 and 4. There's 6 and 2. And I think I covered everything, right? So which of these pairings could you actually combine using either addition or subtraction that would give you your sum number of 7? Well, let's go with the one it's definitely not. 12 and 1. That's either going to be 12 plus 1, which is 13, or 12 minus 1, which is 11. So that one's out. Let's go to 6 times 2. That's this one. 6 plus 2 is 8. 6 minus 2 is 4. So I can't put those together to get 7 either. But look at this one. 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 plus 4 is 7. So the answer to this round of the sum product game is 3 and 4. I like to use a comma to separate them. Pretty much it's better than anything else that I can think of, but it's just the two numbers, positive 3, positive 4. Let's try another one. Oh my gosh, this game is so much fun. Okay, let's try another one. I'm going to give you negative 10 and positive 25. You got that? Negative 10, positive 25. Negative 10, positive 25. All right, now pause me for a minute and try and figure it out on your own. Remember, you're trying to come up with the factors of 25. And of those two pairings of factors that give you 25, which could add or subtract to give you 10? And then we'll think about what the signs would have to be. So go ahead, you give it a try. All right, now we're back. The choices are pretty simple. Either 25 and 1, definitely not it, or 5 and 5, which should just be singing to you, la, I am the right answer if you can get the signs right. So here's the dealio. 5 and 5 will give me 10, but I need a negative 10. But I also need a product that is a positive 25. So think about how you multiply signs. A positive times a positive is positive. A positive times a negative is negative. But a negative times a negative is positive. So the only way I'm ever going to wind up with a positive 25 and a negative 10 as a sum is if the signs were both negative. Negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25, and guess what? Negative 5 plus negative 5 is equal to negative 10. And that, my dear children, will work. Now, I want to show you something on the next page. This is a copy, and let me see if I can make it any bigger. Well, kind of, yeah. All right, let's try. Oh, boy. All right, well, we'll look at it this way. So here's the directions. If you notice, this is the worksheet that I have for you, waiting for you. And there are the directions. They read, what two numbers will combine together to render the first number as their sum and the second number as their product? If there is no answer, meaning there are no two numbers you can put together and actually get a product of the number given and the sum of the other number given, then you write NA, that it's not applicable, or it's no answer. So let's pick one. Let's see. This is the worksheet you're going to do, but let's just do one together. How about this one? A 2 and a negative 25. Can you try that? You go ahead and try it. I'm going to do a sum here and a product over here. It's called the sum product. So the sum, in this case, is a 2. The product is a negative 15. And I need two numbers that will give me the product of a negative 15 and the sum of 2. Go ahead, pause me, give it a try, see if you get it right. All right, and you're back. So let's think of the product for negative 15, or just think of 15 for a minute. 15 and 1, 5 and 3. Now if you look on over to your sum is the number 2. So 15 and 1, that's just not going to give me a 2 by adding or subtracting, but 5 and 3 will. Not by adding, but by subtracting them. So since my answer of my product had to be a negative 15, that means one of these two choices is the right answer. It's either a -5 and a +3, or a +3 and a -5. Which of these two choices gives you, over here on the left, a +2? Okay, I did notice that I reversed the numbers and reversed the signs. Okay, they were the same choice, weren't they? All right, try this one. Which of these two different choices would give you a +2? I was looking at them. Neither of them would have. So one of these works now. Which one is it? I hope you picked that one. The one that has the higher number, positive. And so the answer would be -3, 5. Those are the two numbers who will give you a sum of 2 and a product of a -15. Let's try another one. I think I can put that. Yep, there it is again. I love it. Let's go ahead and pick. I don't know if I'm going to pick the one you're looking at. Let's do -2, -35. So sum, -2, and product is a -35. And I always start with the product. So, give me factors of 35. 35 and 1. Yeah, no, I don't think so. How about 7 and 5? It's just singing to me. 7 and 5. They times together to give you 35. They subtract to give you a 2. Now we just have to get the signs right. So here are your two choices, guys. -+, or +-. Now those are two different options. Which of those two placements of the signs, because they would both give you a -35 when you times, which of those two options when you combine through addition would actually give you a -2? You're right. It's this one. And so that would be the answer. -7 times 5 gives you -35. -7 plus 5 gives you a -2. So your answer, -7, 5. All right, I think I'll do one more, and then I am going to set you free on this page. So you're going to be doing this for yourself. Sometimes it's fun to race somebody else who's sitting next to you. It's kind of like a fun speed kind of a game to do. Or you can do it individually and then work together as a team to try to get the ones that are a little trickier. Some of them are harder than others. Some of them, you're just multiplication facts. You just need a little bit more practice on them. So let's try it one more time. And sum product. Which one do I like? Ooh, I think I like 5, 6. So a sum of 5 and a product 6. So again, let's start with the product 6 and 1. 2 and 3, right? Oh my goodness. So 6 times 1 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. And here's the fun part. Both options will give you a 5, depending on whether you add or subtract. So let's think about this. Our choices for 6 and 1 and 2 and 3. Let me just erase for a second and show you 6 and 1. There are two ways to get the product of a +6 with 6 and 1. Either they're both positive or they're both negative, and you're multiplying, right? Now, with 2 and 3, you have the same issue. Either they're both positive or they're both negative, and you're multiplying. Have to have those parentheses, it just needs to be said. Now, which of these 4 options will give you a +5? It must be a +5 when you add or subtract, because those are the rules of combining. So let's take a look at this one. I'm going to change color for a minute here so you can see the difference. The first one, 6, remember now, we are going to add them together. So if you had a +6 and a +1, you would say 6 plus 1, same sign sum. That's going to give you, come over here with me, that's going to give you a 7, not a 5. What about this one? Negative 6 times negative 1 would be a positive 6, but a negative 6 and a negative 1 is a negative 7, not a 5. Look here. Positive 2 times a positive 3 is a positive 6, and 2 plus 3 is 5. That's my answer, but let's just follow through why this one wasn't. Negative 2 times a negative 3 is positive 6, but negative 2 plus negative 3 is negative 5. So there was only one combination, and there always is only one combination that will give you the answer to the sum product game, and it was the 2, 3 combo. So the answer for this problem would have been 2, 3, the only option. Even though the 6 and 1 was tempting, it really would not have given you the right combination. And there are only a few that will confuse you like that. They're kind of tricky. There's not that many on this page that are tricky, but there are some that don't work. And every year I say to myself, you need to make note of the ones that don't work. And every year I forget. There's about 5 of them, guys, on this entire page that are not possible. No matter how you put them together, you can't get the product and the sum from just 2 numbers. And so don't think that there's more. There's only about 5. So if you're finding 10 or 20, you need to get with a partner and start talking about it. There is no answer key. There is only your brain. So good luck on the sum product game. Work with a partner or work by yourself, however you do it. Just work it. See ya on the flip side.